That was a week and a half. Well, I've got lots to tell, but let's get running. A perfect example of a disposable thing. They dropped a full bottle of water, rather than go back for it, they think, ah, it's just a throwaway thing, I won't bother. It has no value for people. Okay, this is Sunford, so I could go along the boulevard, get a lot more attention, probably even more litter, but I'm not going to do that. I want to show you along the parallel road along here. This actually goes alongside the racetrack of Sunford, where they're going to do Formula 1 hopefully soon. I want to raise awareness there for something special in this video, so let's go there. So this is a problem, it's just littered all the way along this verge for about 2 kilometers. So the beach is there and the boulevard is there, but the problem is it's not plastic going to the sea, it's plastic going into the nature, into the dune lands here. The wind is blowing it this way, so if it's light, it just blows from the beach and blows from the boulevard across into the place where all the wildlife are. So that's why this section, I prefer to do this section. Hey, welcome to the vlog. What was it, number 4 I think? So today I felt the effects of this week. It's been a traumatic week and it didn't really feel like a training day today, so I just literally jogged around. You've seen I collected a lot of bags. There were 10 bags until now. I'm on my 11th bag and I've done 16.7 kilometers. So what's that, 10 miles? So yeah, a lot of trash. So when you run really slow, people, or cycle slow, people talk about it about junk kilometers, junk miles, where you're not really getting a training effect. When you plog, it doesn't matter. You're picking up trash, so, and you're bending down, you're stretching, etc. So there's no real negative. You know, a junk mile is a trash mile, is a benefit to the environment. So, yeah, if you do want to have get some junk miles in, why not do a bit of plogging? As always, this is going to be a single take, so apologies for umming and ahhing and sort of gathering my thoughts. Talking about which, let's talk about this week. Man, it started off on Monday on my birthday, and that was a really great day. So I got a vegan cake baked for me by the family, great presents, all sports related according to the 100-kilometer plog, so a lot of anti-chaff lubricant, shall we say, which is always really useful. So that was a really good start on Monday. Tuesday, yeah, did a little bit of training, everything like that was really fun. And then Wednesday, the world fell apart. So it feels really, I feel guilty about saying about how upsetting this week has been, when there's so much heartbreak in the world. Even when you look at current world affairs, what's going on in the Gaza Strip and things, so, and Jerusalem, you just kind of puts everything in perspective. So what is this? It's nothing really, but to me it means a lot. So our shed caught on fire, and I was just working upstairs, didn't notice it. Someone at the doorbell rang the doorbell and said, your shed's on fire. So, you know, we ran down. It was too late. It was just nothing I could do. Called the fire brigade. Some other people had already called it, and it all just went up. We've lost everything in the shed. Now you kind of go, it's a shed. What have you lost? Well, for me, I'm only going to talk about myself personally. I won't talk about sort of Karen, my wife. She's got her own story to tell. But for me, I've lost so many memories. I've lost the 2 bikes that I've sort of cherished for years. They're 10 years old, so what's the insurance going to give me? They're not going to give me anything. They don't know that every year I strip it down and rebuild it and replace all the parts. It's only the frame and the fork left of these things. Everything else has sort of been replaced and multiple times, and there's just so much care that goes into them. I named them after my family. All my bikes are named after sort of family members. So they were pink bikes. Everyone knew me in Harlem. I used to get people calling out, I saw you because of the pink bike. That's how they spotted me. Those pink bikes were really special to me, and they meant the world. They actually are a symbol of one of the good things I did. So occasionally I've talked about on my Instagram about wilderness years, about the years where I wasn't really proud of myself, but throughout all of those wilderness years there was still running and cycling going on, and maybe not really with these bikes, but for 10 years I cycled to work in Amsterdam, and that's a half marathon distance, and I did that every day on the bike regardless. I had this rule: if I can get down to the bottom of the street without falling off, I could cycle into work. So there was only about 5 days a year when I'd have to take the train. So I was really proud of doing that, and sort of just really not using a car, not using public transport, just doing it on my own. And yeah, I used to run it once a week as well. So there's a lot of memories that goes with bikes and my journey. Now, these bikes weren't necessarily used for that, because they came along just as I was ending that period before I started a new job. But still, they've got so many memories. I did so many plogging films with them that I've linked to in my Instagram. So there's just so many memories on those bikes, and they're just melted. And all of the tools, you know, I built bikes up from a frame. You know, it's not like I bought a bike. I put my heart and soul into those bikes. So you know, luckily no one was hurt in the fire. That's the most important thing. But so many memories have gone up in flames with those bikes. A basketball that I bought when I was working in Scotland in 1992, which happened to be the place where I bought my first mountain bike. So cycling's got a link there as well. I never thought about that. I realised yesterday, oh hang on, my granddad's penknife was in my toolbox. It was useless. I just kept it in there as a sort of a treasure, a precious treasure in my toolbox, to remind me of my granddad, who was a brilliant carpenter. So all of these memories sort of take their toll. So as a result, I've not really been, you know, work was just out the window at the moment. I just can't concentrate on anything, and my wife is in a similar position. It's just so heartbreaking. Let's see what the insurance do. Will I ever get another bike? I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, and then I don't really sort of announce it too much, but yesterday was sort of the anniversary of the death of my mother as well. So yeah, it all just, it weighs hard. So it was a tough week. So, but on Instagram I try and remain positive, and sort of occasionally I have a little bit of a grump, but I try and sort of talk about positive things, so I'm going to do that now. So hey, so let's talk about something positive. On the day that we had the fire, I still went plogging, so I've still been plogging, and it's been a real saviour for me. That run, the running and the picking up trash have really sort of allowed me that escapism. So it's not just a benefit for the environment or a benefit for me, it's a real mental benefit as well. So so it's a real joy to still be able to do that. And on the day of the fire I still went out and did a short loop, and I bumped into someone who picks up trash in the area on the route where I run. So I now discovered why my routes are getting cleaner. It's not because I'm making a big impact, it's just there's more people cleaning, but little things like that, just sort of seeing other people getting committed to the environment has made a sort of real positive impact on me. All the wonderful messages on Instagram, you know, people just saying, you know, it sounds crazy, they're saying sorry for your loss, but it is a loss. It is heartbreak for me, even though it's not a person, it's only a material thing. It's only a material thing, but stacked with memories, so it does feel like a loss. Another positive though is this gives me a chance to refuse and reduce. So even if I can afford 2 bikes, do I need to get 2 bikes? Do I really need to go through and build up bikes by scratch? Is that something I want to continue to do? Do I need all those tools that I've built up over 30 years? So this has given me an opportunity to practice what I preach and think, okay, I'm going to be sensible in what I buy. Yes, I am going to replace a lot of things, but I'm going to think about each decision. I'm going to make wise decisions. So that is something that's a positive that I'm trying to focus on. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, so this run, yeah, it was a jog, but I've got a lot of trash collected. That's a good thing, right? So with that, I'm going to say sorry for bringing everyone on a downer. I'm going to end by some cheery music, running. I don't think I'm going to find much trash because I'm near home now, but let's just end with just a little bit of B-roll of me running and trying to just sort of put a little bit of spirits back. With that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up anyway. Subscribe to the channel, that would really help me as well. These are weekly vlogs I'm doing, so you know, sometimes it's going to be boring content, but it's as much for me to document my trip to the 100-kilometer plog that I'm doing in September. Oh yes, the French guy, I'll link him below. He did his 100-kilometer plog this week. Now there's brilliant news. Let's end on that. Cheers.